And I think we are live. What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? Welcome back to another episode of the Young Guns podcast, hosted by yours truly and Kidblue. As you guys know, this is a certified hood classic, and we got the air horn sound effects as well out here. You already know I've been messing with this out here. You already know this soundboard a little too much. I've been having a little too much fun with it, but I love using the soundboard. But what up, KB? And as you guys can see, we got Bobby Skinner from Talking Giants over here for this episode as well. What up, guys? How y'all doing, man?
I'm good. I'm working on pulling up the chat so I can see my people. It's good, man. I feel like talking to you is like the official start of football season, because like the last time we talked was like right around the draft.
Yeah,
right. Like, it's like we're starting to do live streams again, like having some relevant news. It's really starting to feel like football season this past week or so.
Fun.
What about you,
Yes,
KB?
sir. Oh, I'm feeling good, man. Yeah, I'm just happy that there's something to talk about when it comes to football, man. I'm happy there's relevant news again. We're actually seeing like highlights from training camp again. Everything looks like it's going back to normal. So, yeah, I'm excited.
I want to ask real quick, all right? Why do you guys think, I guess we're going to hop right into it, but I just want to ask this. Why do you guys think we haven't had like a regular coverage of training camp like we have in previous years? Like obviously last year there's a good explanation for that. But this year it's like we're barely getting the stuff like you know who stood out and stuff like that. There's usually like almost every single reporter has an article like that after every training camp, and it's like now most of that is missing compared to like 2019, I guess, is the last regular season we could say.
Yeah, I don't know if it's part of like Joe Judge enforcing the rules about like private information in camp because there's no fans there. So it's like they're allowed to, you know, where in past it was like they would post videos like crazy. I think that's why. But like Zach Rosenblatt, we were talking with him last week, and he's like I'm doing my practice reports, and he's like I used to hate doing those in Philly because it was like every single reporter was doing them. He's like now I'm like the only one doing those, and those are the articles I click on the most. Like I want to find out what happened in practice, less about people's opinions.
Isn't Zach our fellow Eagles fan that happens to be a reporter?
He used to report for the Eagles.
Oh, bet.
Wait, Rosenblatt is an Eagles fan, or he just used to report for Eagles?
He just used to report for the Eagles.
Okay. So he's like Matt Lombardo, and Lombardo is an
But
Eagles
Lombardo
fan.
was like an Eagles, like he did like a show about being an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
About being an Eagles. Then listen, I'm learning so much about these repeat reporters, man.
Yeah, Matt Lombardo is not my favorite.
I don't like Lombardo, so it's cool.
Me neither. He's
I've
not
literally,
my
I don't think there's anybody that does, and I can't say why. What's the man done? I guess I just haven't been around that long.
He's just overly critical. Like it's fine to be critical
trolls.
of one player. Yeah, he just trolls and obviously like says things to ramp up Giants fans and says asks the stupidest questions to Joe Judge and to Daniel Jones and stuff like that. So
I don't really see much of his stuff anymore, so he's kind of like out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
I will say though, the questions we got, like just yesterday, for example, man. Some of these questions, bro, I'm like, you guys don't get tired of asking about the OBJ trade? You guys don't get tired about asking Gentleman about Saquon at 2, bro?
I
like,
know.
Are you serious?
We're just playing the Browns. It just has to keep coming
That's
up.
what I'll say is usually, like, I'm like, you know, I was like, their questions are fine. You know, like, they're not going to give a ton of information. Yesterday, we had John Mayer and Dave Gettleman, and you usually can find, like, you can get at least some good information out of those. That was the first time where it's like I watched both. It's like I learned nothing. It's like they asked if they regretted taking Saquon, which like even if they did,
like
it was like it was just like it was put back in time in 2019 is when the press conference was done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, didn't you guys ask this the last time? I'm pretty sure you spoke to Gelman the last time you spoke to John Mayer as well. Like, you really think their answer changed?
Yeah,
it was the exact same questions.
And do they think that it was supposed to change? Like Dave Gettleman was supposed to say, "Oh yeah, I mean, OBJ coming back from injury for like the 5 billionth time. Yeah, I definitely regret trading him."
Yeah, man, Saquon at 2, he's not the generational talent I thought he was. I'm seeing a silver jacket on him now, not a gold one. Like sometimes I really think in my head.
Well, it's like what if he's like, actually, you're right. Like, I don't want Saquon here, and
right.
Taking Josh Allen. I don't want the QB we have. Like what? Like I don't.
Is that what he's supposed to say? Like I don't even know what is the answer that they want. I don't even know what's the realistic answer they're looking for there. Doesn't make any sense.
And shout out to everybody here. I see Nate Talks Football, George, I'm sorry, man. I'm not gonna try and pronounce your name. I'm definitely gonna butcher it. But what up, George? How you doing? Yuvraj, Super Taj World, local Eagles fan, Bobby Murphy, local Eagles fan, Big Play Slay. You gotta change
Oh,
your name. He's no
gosh.
longer Big Play Slay. Big Blue for life and Levance. What up, guys? How y'all doing?
What
But
up,
I want to
Edward?
say the Josh Rosen joke is a perfect segue into the preseason stuff because a lot of people want. Well, a lot of people want to get rid of. I don't know why they want to get rid of the neck goat Mike Glennon. I mean, he has better field of vision than anybody else on the team. Just
The
given,
giraffe himself.
just given by his stature. But let me get you guys' thoughts. What you saw with the first preseason game? I guess I'll go with you first, KB, and then we'll get our Bobbies.
Well, I mean, I think pretty much everybody that's listening right now probably heard in the chat probably heard what I think about it. I don't really take too much stock in it. It has no relevance of what's going to happen in the regular season. All we really can go from this preseason game is that our wide receiver depth is pretty competitive. Our O-line depth is very bad. And we obviously are struggling if Daniel Jones goes down with the quarterback position. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I did like what we saw from the second string defense handling the starters and, limiting them to about 3 points, limiting those starters to about 3 points. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got from it. And not too much relevant to the regular season.
All right.
For me, I will say the one worry I come away with is Matt Parrott because he gave up that sack. Now he got better as it went along, and he could. Again, that could be funny that week. Worried about that, but it did worry me a little bit because those are some of the same things that he had issues with in college and last year as a rookie. Other bad thing: Kenny Wiggins can't be the first guard off the bench.
He was such a liability.
Oh, God, he was so bad.
I didn't know what to expect from him. It's like I wasn't expecting him to be good. He's a backup offensive lineman on a team that doesn't really have the best offensive line, but he's not even good enough to be like the first backup.
Yeah.
And then good stuff is Carter Coughlin. Like he was fun to watch. And me and Justin were recording our player profile episode on him, which will be out next week. And it's like, man, can this guy be Kyle Van Noy? Maybe not exactly the player or the success as Kyle Van Noy, but that type of player where he has the ability to rush the passer, or he can play inside linebacker and is smart. So I'm excited to see what Carter Coughlin turns into after that game.
Mm-hmm. What about I guess this would be. What about CJ Board? What do you guys think about CJ Board? I know during FanFest, at least for me, he looked good in the return game. Although they only did maybe 5 return drills, and then they were using him quite a bit with the first couple of drives for the offense. What do you guys think?
He looked good. He looked good in the return game. He had that crucial third down drop though that he'll have to make up. That was caused us to have another 3 and out. That I believe that was another 3 and out. But yeah, right when we were kind of clicking on offense in the beginning, that was a key third down drop he had, hit him right in the hands. But like I said, the wide receiver competition is really, I guess you could say strong this year. David Stills really is working his way up the depth chart. He has some more work to do, but I like the back end of this wide receiver roster. So CJ Board's one of them. He'll probably contribute in the return game, but we don't know if Kadarius Toney is somehow healthy and Adoree Jackson is ready to go. I mean, on the depth chart, they were ahead up for the return game. So, because they didn't even list CJ Board in the unofficial depth chart. Not that we take too much stock into that, but yeah, I like CJ Board as a returner though.
Yeah, like you said, he had the drop. He had the end around, but it's like he's not going to be the one to get that in the regular season.
Right.
Right. Tony, Shepard, Slayton, Ross, Ingram before they give it to him. And then Ross, who was injured, you mentioned the depth chart, KB. He's listed as kick returner 1. And I want to ask you, see if you guys. I'm going to give you guys some trivia. How many special team snaps do you think John Ross has had?
In his career?
You can't give an exact number, but
right.
What around that number do you think?
Is it fair if I say I don't know. I'm just because you're asking the question, I'm gonna guess.
I'm gonna go low. Yeah, I'm gonna go low.
Yo, is it 10 or something?
Oh,
0.
Wow.
Oh man.
A special team snap, but they list him as kick returner 1, and I hope he wins that job. And I think as long as Ross is healthy, he's gonna make the roster.
You're telling me not once Cincinnati said, "Let's try and put the speedster"?
Well, he was always hurt.
At cornerback before they gave him a special team snap. Like that's insane.
They really did?
Yes, he
Oh
hurt his
my
foot last
God.
year practicing at corner, and they didn't give.
Oh
They didn't
man.
like. We'll just put you on defense before we give you one special team.
They put that tiny receiver on defense. Like you got to be a straight dog to be that small and play cornerback. It's been done. Obviously, a lot of slot
do
corners.
it
But
like
damn.
mid NFL career.
Yeah. Oh, what the
Yeah,
hell?
has there ever been a change like that, like position change like that in the NFL?
Not that late into a career.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, there's been, but from off. Oh, Troy Brown with the Patriots.
Okay.
Remember?
Okay. Oh yeah, and there was also that running back turned cornerback, Tywin Jones.
Taiwan Jones. Yeah.
Oh,
Tywin
yeah.
Jones.
In the NFL though, he was the Raiders with the Raiders.
Raiders and the Bills. I mean, he played running back and cornerback and did, I guess, decent in both positions.
Prime time played a little bit of both, but he was a corner. He was
Listen, you already know the one player I want to see to do
Devin
that.
Hester is another one too. He's changed.
Yeah, Hester.
Yes.
Yeah, he was mostly a cornerback, then changed to receiver. Right?
Listen, you think any chance we see Peppers at running back this year? Remember Judge made the joke or something last year?
Yeah, they keep talking
where he was
about
like,
that.
if you got an interception or a pick six or something, we'll probably give you a snap on the offense. That was hilarious.
If Peppers gets a running back rep, that means everybody's hurt.
Listen,
and that's a
man,
bad
you seen
thing.
what this man done at Michigan, bro? Listen, come on now.
You seen Sandro Platzgummer out there? I give him a snap before I give Jabril Peppers a snap, man.
Look at KB working on his segues, bro. The running backs. Sandro. All right. First of all,
I've been telling you about this guy, man. I've been telling everybody about Sandro Platzgummer, man. Love that guy.
We had him on the show a couple months ago.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing something like that. Yeah, man.
Listen, this man, was it you? It was somebody on the Talk of Giants account that tweeted out. They compared the Sandro Platzgummer run to the Saquon run in the 2018 preseason.
Yeah, that was Justin.
Listen.
It looks pretty similar to be
It
honest.
looks similar. Yeah, the little moves
is
to the
it
outside.
Sandro Platzgummer season? Question mark. Is that what we're saying out here?
I was hoping he made the roster last year, but we just didn't have the roster room. I don't think he'll probably be on the practice squad again. But we just have too much running back depth, especially that we drafted one. He just came back to practice, so.
And the NFL has a spot designated for the international program. So they'll just put him on that, you know. And if they need to pull him up, they'll pull him up. But like right now, I don't see him being like RB3. You know, like I don't think he has any. I think it's just honestly because of that program, they're probably not going to give him, you know, the regular roster spot.
And guys in the chat, don't worry. I do see your questions. I'm gonna get to them in a second. But what did you guys generally think of the backup running backs that we did see? You know, like Devontae Booker to me looked a bit, I don't know if slow is the right word or sluggish, but like there were holes in front of him that he just didn't hit. And like he didn't look like he was running with purpose. Corey Clement honestly looked the best, even though he had the fumble, obviously. And then there was Sandro. Like, what did you think, Bobby?
Clement had the most bursts. And then, you know, I did the reaction video because last year I didn't do the reaction videos after games. I did it this one, and I was like, you know, Booker, he's not going to do that. But then I went and looked at Booker. Booker hasn't been like, you know, like he's fumbles too. Now, like Corey Clement does it probably at a little higher rate. He has like 6 and like 200 touches in his career. So, but it's not like Booker's immune to fumbles. But Clement had more burst. And we want to talk about blocking. Like supposedly Booker was supposed to chip on that Matt Parrott sack. You know?
Yes,
yeah, he totally missed
I saw
that.
a replay of that. Yeah.
Rob Sale like confirmed it. Like there was probably should have been a chip there. So, if like I don't think they will just because of the contract they gave Booker.
Right.
But Clement looked a lot better. It was just that one fumble, and I'm sure as much as Booker may have had fumbles in the past, he hasn't had any. Well, actually, he had one in FanFest last week.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I was confused.
Oh,
I
he
couldn't
did.
really see the numbers.
Everybody thought it was.
I thought it was Saquon because I couldn't see the numbers, but they didn't even have Saquon in.
I was like, Saquon.
So I was like,
fumbled?
it has to be 28 then. Yeah, that's Booker. Nah,
So,
Saquon doesn't fumble.
Man, that's a good tweet. I should have tweeted that out on Sunday, but I forgot.
What? That Saquon doesn't fumble? What?
No, that like, hey, Devontae Booker fumbles too. He fumbled in FanFest.
Hey, man, just make a note of it. Tweet it right after the show, man.
Yeah. So Clement looked better. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He looked better. I'm not writing off Booker to be RB2, and he probably still leads the way, but he looked better. And all the beat reporters, when they talk about practice, say Clement looks better too. So how long can he look better and not get the most?
Right. I feel like they'll probably give Booker the majority of the snaps, you know, compared to each other, but Clement's just gonna do more with the snaps that he's given than probably Booker. You know, I look at Booker and it looked like he had a little bit of that Andre Williams type of running back vision there, where you just stare down a potential hole and you just run into your offensive lineman. It's pretty much what it looked like. But I mean,
He needs that Alfred Morris vision, man. I'm
Yeah,
so
he
sad we
needs
cut Alfred Morris. I like him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he took some snaps there. He didn't look the best, but I like Clement. I think as a running back guy, I think he will do the most of his snaps and probably get more than Devontae by the end of the season. But like Bobby said, with the money that Devontae is being paid, they kind of have to give him that opportunity to kind of get into a rhythm. So we'll see what happens there. But I mean, I like the running backs that we have, especially, we got to see what we see from Gary Brightwell. I don't know if he's going to be playing in this game because I know he just got back to practice, Brightwell. I hope to see him in this upcoming game against the Browns, man, because he's somebody I want to see a little bruising back.
Whoa, congrats, G Nation. That's Lou. Your wife is in labor right now. First of all, man, you shouldn't be on here.
Baby Eli on the way. Hold up.
Yo, Lou, congratulations, man.
Okay.
Should you be in the room with her? or is it a different procedure now? I don't know. But congrats, man.
He's got to tune into the Young Guns, man.
I appreciate that.
He can't miss it.
He can't miss it, bro. Nah, but, all right, so let me ask you, realistically, what happens with Sandro, man? What happens with Sandro? Is it going to be like last year where he's just not like an official roster listing or something?
Before we answer that, I'll probably ask Bobby this because he probably knows better than I do. I thought that if he's on that designated list for those like those foreign players, those whatever it's called, I thought they're not able to play if they're on that list. Like last year, they weren't able to pull them out to the active roster, right? Or maybe that was just the first year. I heard something about that if they don't make him, if he's not on the active roster and he's on that designated list, that he's not able to play. That he's only able to have like another like redshirt year or whatever. But I don't know if that's like one year.
You know how they like last year they started letting you bring up 2 practice squad players a week.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe he's on that, but yeah, it's not part of the actual. Like it's a practice squad spot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like an extra practice squad spot. And like how they have a 90-man roster. Technically, it's a 91 because of Sandro.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I don't know how that works, but even if he was on that and they needed him, they could just sign him to the active roster.
Right.
So,
and I think he's proven that he could play because we've seen a bunch of these guys like former rugby players, former German football league players try to get into the NFL. They don't really make it. I remember that guy a couple of years ago with the 49ers that everybody thought was going to do fantastic because he played a couple reps in
fumbled
preseason.
on like his first snap.
Exactly. Yeah, he had a good preseason, and then when he made it to the
imagine being that guy,
regular
man.
season,
Jeez.
yeah. And his the way he carried the ball was so like a rugby player, but he was able to make do. Yeah, he was bad. But
we don't talk about Nate Ebner too.
Yeah, and Nate Ebner. Oh God. But Sandro looked good, man. Sandro looked really good. So I'm hoping. I'm rooting for him. I definitely am.
So a couple comments / questions from the chat here. Taj says Kenny Wiggins is not good, bro. I don't know if he's good enough to be an NFL player. He can't even be good enough to be a backup.
Oh, do you remember that play?
He's not an NFL player anymore.
Yeah, do you remember that play, Kush, that we were talking about where Kenny Wiggins was playing guard and we were looking at the slow-mo camera and automatically he got pushed so bad it looked like he was playing tackle?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah, we
were like,
were calling
Kenny
the game
Wiggins
live,
playing
man,
tackle?
and it was just like, there's no way.
Yeah, he got pushed back so bad he was on the outside of the right tackle, just hanging there.
I was like, how do you I was trying to cut him some slack. I'm like, nah, they probably did some type of stunt, some type of pull.
Some sort of
on
pull
that,
or something.
No,
like,
nah, he's just on the other side, bro. That's how far he got pushed
dragged.
Back. For no reason. Yovraj says, guys, should we pull a trade to get a guard like Shaq Mason, for example? Or in your minds, what guards do you think we can possibly trade for? That's a good question.
With what assets would you give up is the question.
All right,
really.
so Devontae Booker, Keon Crossan, Evan Ingram. Come on, that's got to be
do we have any cap space to take up any extra cap?
Bro,
like,
Evan Ingram's fifth-year option, bro. Who'd you say, Bobby?
I said they could make cap space if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like extending guys and stuff like that.
I'm all for it, dude. I'm all for it to bring in somebody. I don't know what's going on with Ryder. Maybe you guys know. I know that there was like a big talk about that. I guess that's gone. And then we got guys retiring on us. So so there's that.
But yeah, anybody at all? Have you even thought about maybe even trading for an O-lineman, Bobby?
I've thought
Whether it's
about
a
it, but I
starter
don't know
or
what
backup.
players you would trade for.
Yeah.
Like, who is anybody trading away a starting offensive line? I doubt it.
Yeah, it's like we don't have like a trade block to look at, so it's like it's hard to really identify who would, you know. What
There
kind
was
of
a
trade scenario.
Steelers guy. I forget his name.
The Castro.
No, not the Castro. The
the one they cut, right?
the one who played under Rob Sale at Louisiana. Kevin Dotson, I think it was.
Kevin Dotson. Okay, yeah, he's older, I think. Right?
I don't know. He was a rookie last year. I forget.
Oh, he's
his
a
name.
rookie last year. Okay, I'm thinking about the other Dotson, the Buccaneers one.
Here, I'll just Google Steelers Rob Sale and it'll come up.
I think I know you're talking about too.
Come on. I said it would come up, but it's not coming up.
Was he a guard or a tackle?
Oh, it is Kevin Dotson. He's a
Okay.
guard. He's a second-year guard.
Okay, guard.
It looked like there might be he might be like not in the starting rotation, but he's in there now. So yeah, I don't know where what player there would be. I'm open to it. It's just, is there a starting level available? And if there's someone who would be our first backup, would they be willing to trade them for like a 6th or 7th rounder? Because I would, if you were told me we could get our number one backup interior offensive lineman for a 6th rounder, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'd probably do that as well.
Which is why when we get, and we're gonna get to the Keon Crossen trade in a second before we get to the Isaac Yiadom trade yesterday. Which is why I felt some type of way about giving up a 6th round pick for a guy that I think is gonna be a special teamer. I hope I'm proved wrong.
2023 though. 2023.
It's still a
it's not
six. I mean, it's still a pick, bro. You know what I'm saying? For a special teamer. Come on. I
Yeah,
can't be the
but
only
you
person
know
that feels
how
that way.
easy it is to get 6th and 7th round picks. You know, it's pretty easy to get one.
Well, what we do? We give up Madre Harper, bro, for a 6th round pick.
I mean, on top of that, do 6th or 7th round picks even make the roster?
My guy
I mean,
Cam Brown, bro. My guy Rodarius Williams. You forgetting about that?
I get it, but it's like, I mean, if they feel like they needed to make that move, I'm probably making it too.
You're there with them.
I mean, I don't know too much about this guy in particular, but if it's a guy that I feel like can outproduce the value of being a 6th round pick, I'm probably doing it, especially a next year's 6th round pick. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, the position is a little bit questionable. Like, is he going to be used for special teams, or they feel like they don't have good enough depth at the defensive back position, which doesn't tell me that they're lacking depth at the defensive back position, because they just traded for Josh Jackson, who's mostly taking special teams reps. So I guess they're just trying to help their special teams out.
We'll see. Before we continue that conversation, Big Blue for Life says, is Kadarius Toney's absence in preseason a concern for Big Blue? So far for me, okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna let you guys go first then. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, for me, it's not much of a concern, as it is just like, I guess just caution. I mean, I've going into this, when we signed Kenny Golladay, one of the reasons why I wasn't too adamant of getting Kenny Golladay, although I was on board with it, was because of the injury concerns. Now we're seeing that he's having injury concerns already, having injury issues already, no matter how severe it is. And then Kadarius Toney as well, who also had some injury concerns back in college. Not that I'm concerned about it, because it doesn't look like there's anything that's going to keep them out the whole season. It's just a tad bit, I guess. I don't know. It kind of raises your eyebrow a little bit, because it's so early in training camp and the season hasn't even started yet. And these guys are getting tweaked up already. And these are guys that had prior concerns in the past. So
What about you, Bobby?
A little bit. With Tony, it's just been like, if it's not one thing, it's another. And a lot of it's been his fault. But regardless, it just sucks. So I wouldn't say I'm concerned. I'm a little annoyed by it, but I'm not concerned, because if he just, he walks out there week 1 and balls out, which he's capable of doing, like, that'll all go away. And then with Kenny Golladay, I would say less so, because I think they're just babying him. Like, if they've had a game tomorrow, I think Kenny Galladay's probably playing. He's out there jogging, running around.
Do you think they're babying Saquon?
Hell yeah. Hell yes. They're
are
cradling him, dude.
The Giants are I've never seen the Giants be this cautious with injuries before. Like, Saquon's ready to go, but they are taking it at very, very slow. And I do think he plays week 1, but they're not going to give him a full workload. Like, they are making sure that they let him take as much time as he can getting back to
That's what I've been saying for months, man. I've been on here saying it for months. I'm like, I think people forget just the type of player he is. He is legitimately built different. Like, I know that's a meme saying, but Saquon is actually built different from regular NFL players. Like, we called him a freak of nature for a reason. I think he is going to be 100% by week 1, but it doesn't mean he's going to get 100% snaps. You know what I mean?
Right, and I'm completely okay with that. We know that Saquon's capable of taking anything to the house. I mean, back in that, I know 2020 he didn't have a great season, but back in that I want to say 2018 season, or 2019 season, I'm sorry. He was averaging like freaking 10 yards a damn carry in the first like 3 weeks of the season, right? Against the Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, before he went down with the high ankle sprain, right?
Yeah, he only had like 10 carries in that Dallas game. He had over 100 yards, and then in the Buffalo game, in his first 5 carries, he's almost at 100 yards. So he's like
carries. They didn't even pass the ball in the first drive of the game. They handed the ball off to him. I think they did one reverse with Shepard, and the rest were just hand off to Saquon. And
that was like the biggest catfish of the 2019 season, bro. He started off so hot. I was like, he's about to have a record-breaking year, bro.
Both our first games that year, we scored on the first drive.
And and I thought that we were like having something magical here. Evan Ingram had that first score in that Dallas game, and I'm like, oh my God, Evan Ingram's doing something. It's a magical season. But yeah, we all know how that turned out. But yeah, if Saquon doesn't get a full workload, I'm completely okay with it because you can give him freaking 9-10 carries and he can get 100 yards. So I'm okay with it.
Let's see here. Chat's saying, shout out to Paul Noname. He says, do you think the low workload for Saquon could be smoke and he actually gets a lot of touches week 1? Kind of what the Giants did with Daniel Jones' injury at the end of the season last year. I'm going to say no specifically because of how much Bobby and KB have emphasized the fact that they are really babying him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm very confident that it's not smoke. But I do want to make a point with Paul Noname because that happened week 17 and it's like stuff you forget about stuff because the season's over. That sly dog, Daniel Jones, in the press conference being like, yeah, I'm going to be working from the pocket again. Like, you're not going to be able to do anything outside the pocket. It's like the third play of the game, they're running read option again. I mean, everyone's like, Daniel Jones is the biggest idiot ever. He just shared that he's not going to be able to run. They're going to game.
He's the best liar ever, man. You can't tell.
They were totally just lying to screw with the Cowboys, which I thought was pretty funny.
Shout out to Lauren from She Got Sports in there. What up, Lauren?
She's no Ingram. I forgot, Lauren. I forgot. We gotta keep the positive vibes.
Fan, isn't she?
We gotta keep the positive vibes for Evan Ingram because he gets nervous and that's how he drops passes.
He got booed at FanFest. I heard.
As soon as he dropped the pass, they booed him. I was like, how is that gonna help him catch the ball next time? Come on, guys.
Hey B, how come you weren't at FanFest, man?
I couldn't get the days off to go up there. I already got approved to go to that Tampa game. And then I got approved to go to the Week 18 game over there in New York. So my job was like, dude, you're taking too much time. You can't take anymore. So yeah. So
by the way,
I really
what games are you going to? I'm assuming Tampa.
I'm going to the Philly one for sure.
Yeah.
The Tampa one I'll probably go to. Yeah.
Those will be the only 2 this year.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe going up there for a road game to do a watch along somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it's the Philly game in New York, in Jersey, and then the Tampa game, which are back-to-back weeks. Funny enough.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to that Tampa game.
Tampa is it a primetime game?
Yeah, Monday night. It's a complete rematch.
I could go hang out. I could go enjoy the weekend there and not have to worry about the Giants until Monday. So I'm looking forward to that weekend.
We have three primetime games, right? Week 2 Thursday night. Is Kansas City the Sunday night game that we have this year?
Yeah. No, it's a Monday night. No, that's another Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night. Yeah, both are
Monday nights
on the road versus the 2 teams in the Super Bowl.
I know. That's just a big middle finger to the Giants right there.
Bro, they couldn't give us one single Sunday night game, man. Come on.
I love Sunday night broadcasting. I'm so pissed off. What is it? The second year in a row we don't get a Sunday night game.
Well, they flexed one of our Sunday night football games, and then our entire team.
Yeah.
We're not going to show up to this one.
That was the Cleveland game.
James Bradbury.
Oh, yeah. That was when Freddie Kitchens took over.
We lost our team that week.
Do you know how hype I was for that week in that game, bro? I was like, yo, the Giants are on the run right now, bro. They recognize us. They put us on prime time, and then we go out and we
fought. We fought in that game. Was 20-6 or something like that at the end of the end.
Yeah, I'm like, that was one of 3 games where the score was just not in our favor. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there was 49ers, It was 49ers, Cleveland, and Baltimore, I think, where it wasn't close by the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, 49ers, man, had me like
Sad. I was
Dude,
depressed,
Fred
bro.
Warner demolished.
Bro, he
our
got his
team,
contract
dude.
off of that game.
Oh yeah, I watched the film on that game. Dude, he was everywhere. I mean, wherever Evan Ingram went, he was going. He was covering receivers like just like glue. And Fred Warner single-handedly was the reason why we got smoked in that game.
So I want to get back to the not necessarily preseason, but let's talk about the line here. Where are you with the offensive line, Bobby? Let's start with something a little bit less on. Let's start with the backups. I think we're all kind of just like we need some more backups, or we need better backups, right?
Sign
And
Bobby.
then you could get to the starters. Wait, didn't you say
He's got
yourself
the heart
you don't
for
want
it.
like that? We don't want that you as a backup line.
Yeah, I'm saying you guys don't want that for Daniel Jones. That would be brutal, man. I had to make that joke like 30 times last week.
Yeah.
But now the good thing is, as bad as it was, that the two best backups didn't play, and Jonathan Harrison and Nate Solder. Like those guys are the two best backups.
Yeah, I really wanted to see Nate Solder.
I wanted to see Jonathan. Yeah, I did want to see Nate Solder too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Is it weird that I'm feeling better about him now than I did like say a couple months ago?
Well, I just want to see what we have in him. Yeah, I
you
just
get
wanna
away
see-
from watching him play, you forget how bad it was.
Yeah.
And that works the opposite way. It's like I kind of forgot how good Saquon was until I watched like a highlight film. Like, oh my gosh, this dude's amazing.
Yeah.
So Kenny Wiggins just can't be the first guy off the bench. It's as simple as that. He is not an NFL player anymore. He can't even be on the team. Like he's bad.
Real quick. Who's worse, Kenny Wiggins or Clayton Thorson?
As a
Wiggins was with the starters. Clayton Thorson was never expected to even make the team. So I'll say Wiggins.
Okay.
that guy was terrible.
You know, there's some CBS Sports guy that when Clayton Thorson was drafted, he's like, he's Daniel Jones. He's the same player as Daniel Jones.
They say that because he kind of looks like him if you squint your eyes.
Yeah, right. His physique kind of resembles Daniel Jones, the lanky, dorkness of him. But yeah, man, Clayton Thorson quickly became the most hated Giant of all time in that preseason game. Man, every Giants Twitter was exploding about that guy. And then the Giants responded quickly. The Giants got some
He was
random
gone,
dude,
bro.
Brian Lewerke, never heard of him in my life. And they just said, you know what, that guy's probably gonna do better than Clayton Thorson. Throw him the playbook, and he'll be playing next game.
Should have kept Alex Tanney.
Should have kept Colt McCoy, man. He's balling out with Arizona.
Was he?
Yeah, he's throwing bombs.
I didn't even want to keep Colt because of that. I just wanted to keep Colt because I was like, I feel like he actually liked the team.
The
you know what I'm saying?
mentor.
He provided that field down in Texas for DJ to practice last year. I was like,
And
that's
Alex
nice.
Tanney, to be fair, Alex Tanney was like the first mentor of Daniel Jones when he came into the league. I mean, Daniel Jones was saying he was learning more from Alex Tanney than the actual coaching staff, not in a negative way, but that's what he said. I mean, and Colt McCoy did the same thing. He was the mentor as well, and I felt very comfortable with Colt McCoy as a backup quarterback. He didn't have to do a lot, but he played the Seattle game, they won. So
Alex Tanney is on top of my I want to interview list because one thing about this, he was the other QB in the room, and Eli's last year and Daniel Jones this year.
Yeah.
That's got to be the stories from that.
Mhm.
He had a trick shot video. On YouTube back when YouTube just started, when trick shot QBs
really.
and then now he's the Eagles coach, which makes me a
Yeah.
little
He's a
Oh,
traitor,
he got
bro.
signed to the Eagles. I didn't even know that.
As a coach, yeah.
As a coach, yeah. Oh, damn.
Shout out to Authentic in the chat.
What
but-
about Authentic?
Yeah, getting back to the line then. So you didn't like anything you saw from Brett Heggie, who I think was kind of being hyped up in training camp by some reporters.
He was getting overhyped.
Yeah, he was getting a lot of attention.
Getting overhyped.
And then there was Jackson Barton as well, I think, was another guy that was in there. You see, I can't even remember who our backup line
And Kyle
was.
Murphy's a guy that I like, but he got hurt, right?
Yes, I know. Kyle Murphy was the one guy in that group. It's like I like him, and he was good
Yeah.
in 7 reps, and he just got rolled up on. And the
Mhm.
play he got rolled up on, he moved his dude pretty good. So I felt bad for him. I feel bad for him.
Any update on how long of an injury or how long he's
He's
going
on
to be?
IR, so he's done for the year.
Oh, wow. Okay, then.
Oh,
That's
again? Was he done for the year last year?
No, he just wasn't part of it.
Oh,
He was on the practice
I
squad.
thought he was hurt last year. But what about Authentic?
And then moving now to the starting line, obviously we saw what? Does anybody know the actual snap count? But it was in there for a couple of drives.
19.
19. I think other than the first drive, which was terrible, and Matt Perry giving up the sack, and even Thomas got beat on that play as well. But like
They
after
both
that, I
got
feel like
beat.
they just got better as the game went on. Like I feel like
Well,
as they got
remember,
more reps, they started
wasn't
to
that
look
the
a little more
first?
comfortable.
Wasn't that the first drop back of the game?
What?
Wasn't it what
No,
that Matt Parrott sack?
No, that was like the
They
third.
threw the ball the first 3 plays.
Yeah.
Okay,
There
yeah,
was
because
the one play action that got tipped, the one bad pass to Cole Hikatini or however you spell his name, and then the sack.
yeah, because
They
I
looked good after that Parrot sack.
right.
what I'm saying.
That's what I'm
You can't
saying.
throw the Parrot sack away, but they did look good after that.
Yeah.
And as far as run blocking, they look good. I mean, that's something I've said all off seasons. Even if they suck as pass blockers, they are a good run blocking.
They are. They are.
Thomas is a really good run blocker. Shane Lemieux is a good run blocker. Gates is a good run blocker, and I think Hernandez and Parrott are both better run blockers than Zeitler and Fleming.
Hmm.
I don't know if they're going to be better pass blockers. I know Hernandez won't be a better pass blocker than Zeitler,
Yeah.
but they are better run blockers.
So what'd you see from them as they were getting more comfortable and I guess shaking the rust off in the preseason?
Parrott had that pancake on the pass rep.
Yeah, we saw that.
They tried to challenge him inside and he parried down, so he looked good.
Oh,
So
didn't Thomas have a couple of times where he baptized dude with his hands on the field, man?
Andrew Thomas just tossed a human being.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that crap. And then run blocking, they look good. Besides Kenny Wiggins, like Matt Parrott and Will Hernandez were working their double teams really well. Like they look good as run blockers. Like I'm excited. I'm excited to watch Saquon behind this offensive line this year.
It's just you're not. How excited are you to watch Daniel Jones behind this offensive line?
Matt Parrott scares the crap out of me. Matt Parrott scares the crap out of me.
Is it just Parrott, nobody else really?
I think
Well,
Shane Lemieux scares me more than Matt Parrott does.
But here's the thing: is Shane Lemieux can have bad reps, and I don't think it nukes the offense the way a right tackle can. Just because it's just guard is different.
Right.
You're gonna get more help. There was times where Shane Lemieux had horrible reps, but Nick Gates saved him.
Right.
So it's just because that tackle spot is it's just like if Shane Lemieux, you're a left guard. It's like okay, I'll just roll out. Matt Parrott gets blown up, and the defensive end's right in your lap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's just a more important position from right tackle.
Oh yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
And I gotta say this, right? How much, and obviously, Bobby, as the O-line guy, I like to call you, right? You definitely know a lot more about this than I do. But how much does actually having your weapons out there help the O-line? You know what I'm saying? How much does having a Galladay out there instead of CJ Board? How much does that help the line? How much does Saquon, who obviously I think is gonna hit the holes way better than Devontae Booker, how much does all of that help the line when it comes to both run blocking and pass protection?
I don't think it matters in preseason, but in regular season, it's like you blitz us. I dare you.
Mm-hmm.
Please leave Kenny Galladay one-on-one. And if you don't do that, we'll have like everyone else one-on-one. We'll have Kenny Galladay and then Kadarius Toney running a slant. Please blitz us. See what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it helps. Is you get less blitzes. If Saquon's out there with the ability to bounce a run, it kind of scares defenses away from maybe stunting their D linemen a little bit. Because they can lose gap and all of a sudden Saquon's gone. So that's the way it helps in the preseason, but no one's really like blitzing like crazy in the preseason. And if they are, they're pretty basic blitzes. So in the preseason, I don't think it makes a difference, but in the regular season, it definitely makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Shout out to Ben Wynn in here. C Bands, Never Stay Lacking 45 in here. Marco Polo, Sly Cooper, and I think I got everybody new. Yub says, I can't stand the media saying our O-line is garbage after the preseason game when it was our backups were the ones that didn't play good. I mean, well, to be fair, I think our backups are kind of garbage. And I mean, we could get to that. What's up with Austin Ryder? I'm not sure what's up with it. Is there any other lineman other than Ryder on the market right now that you'd be comfortable with them bringing in, actually?
I mean, that'd be cool bringing in anyone at this point.
Right. I'm agree.
I don't know this, but it seems like with Ryder that he wants to start and make a good contract because of what he's done well. So that's my only reason of why Ryder's probably because I doubt Ryder's just out there and they're like, yeah, we'll give you $2 million a year, and he's like, or they're not teams aren't offering that. So my assumption would be that he just wants money and that he's not getting the contract he wants. So that's my only thing with Ryder because he would be a starter on this team right away probably.
Do you shift Gates over then if he like in the event he comes there?
I would have to watch Ryder to see how good he is because from right now I'm just going off of what other people say and stats. But I'd be open to that if Ryder's here long term. If he's just a 1-year rental, I wouldn't want to do that. But if he's here long term, and you're like, okay, he's going to be our center long term, and Gates, you're going to be playing guard long term, then I'm cool with it. But I wouldn't want to do that as
if it's
like,
temporary. Yeah.
Like like when they signed Joe Looney. If they thought Joe Looney was better than Shane Lemieux, I'm sorry, but I'm not putting Joe Looney at center and Nick Gates at guard.
Mm-hmm.
So what about you, KB, with Ryder?
With Ryder, like, I can understand why they're not coming to a deal. I'm sure Ryder wants to be a starter, and I'm pretty sure that's – I don't know if maybe that's why the other guys retired like Looney and Fulton did, because the young guys were going to pretty much get the nod at starter. But, I mean, I don't know who else to really bring in here. I don't really have any knowledge of the market right now for offensive linemen. I just want to bring anybody in here at this point and see how it works out for depth. But they have to obviously be on board with being a depth guy because it's going to be the younger guys to get the starting reps. So, Shane Lemieux.
Yeah, so I do have a list pulled up, actually, if you guys want to hear it. So there's Russell Okung, who's a tackle, David DeCastro from Pittsburgh, Mike Pouncey. I think the last team he was with was the
yeah, but
Chargers.
remember all those big names that you're mentioning. They're not going to want to take depth roles.
Oh, I'm just listing it. I'm just listing it out in order that Spot Rack has it here.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah.
Can't wait to see what he looks like. Have you seen a picture of Ted Larson?
Ted Larson.
He looks like he's like 55 years old. It's funny.
Really?
And he's like a dude. He's got like loose white socks and like an old man black knee brace. He looks
sounds
like
old. He sounds.
I'm looking at a picture from him when he was with the Cardinals, and he kind of looks like a lumberjack.
Yeah.
He's got like unkept facial hair. I mean, I saw a picture of him on the sideline for the preseason game.
Dude, how many teams has this guy played with? Holy crap!
Bears, Buccaneers.
I look up Ted Larson, and he's just like multiple teams everywhere he's with.
He looks good in all these pictures. He doesn't look like that anymore.
Oh man, why?
He looks seasoned. He looks seasoned.
Are you saying he looks pudgy?
I mean, he's always looked pudgy. I'm talking about just the way he presents himself.
What do y'all think about? What do y'all think about bringing in former Giants O-line legend Spencer Pulley?
Oh God, Spencer.
No,
Pulley.
I'd rather have Jonathan Harrison than Spencer Pulley.
Yeah, see, I want a guard. I don't want a center. I want a backup guard. That's what they would.
Spencer Pulley sucked.
Yeah, Spencer Pulley sucked.
But
and depth tackle, I don't think we're terrible in. I mean, we have Nate Solder as our swing tackle. I think that's not too bad of a deal. It's the backup guard spot to me is the problem. So
Jalapeno.
Jalapeno, is he still on the market? I mean, but he's always hurt. He's
always hurt, right? Yeah.
That dude like is out for the year, the beginning of the year, every single year.
It's hilarious. They have Zach Fulton listed here as if this man didn't retire. I'm pretty sure he retired. Did he not?
I think there's like a list, like a retired list, which is funny when you look at the Giants.
Oh my God.
So Bobby, I mean, I don't know if this is probably a broken record type question for you, but I assume you probably have some knowledge in it. Do you know anything about what the hell is going on with all the retirements happening? Or
bro, they literally said almost all of them were like their bodies couldn't handle it. Like,
yeah, but is that really it? I mean, there's such a coincidence that how many times do in the training camp in one team that you get 3 retirements in like the course of a week?
I will tell you, the Raiders had like 7, but nobody was talking about that.
Yeah, was that this year?
Yeah, stuff out.
Oh,
I couldn't
okay.
anything out. I mean, no one was leaking anything of that. I don't know. I mean, I guess Joe Looney didn't surprise me. I mean, it surprised you because you didn't expect it, but it was like, okay, that makes. He showed up and he just wasn't ready. Zach Fulton was pretty surprising
because we signed him months ago.
He started a lot of games. That one was like, what is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
So the Zach Fulton, and that one kind of worries me because I was viewing him as like a good backup, and now we have Kenny Wiggins in there, which I think that scared me the most is when Shane Lemieux went down. They're like, no, we're actually not going to put Zach Fulton in there. We're going to put Kenny Wiggins.
You think that has something to do with it? Because he was leading up to like when he announced his quote-unquote retirement. They were giving Kenny Wiggins way more snaps according to the reporters than Zach Fulton.
Giving him everyone. Like Zach Fulton was not playing. He was not the first guy. So I don't know if that's because Zach Fulton didn't look good or what. So I would think that has something to do with it. Like if he thinks he's not going to be that first guy off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then Todd Davis too. I mean, he was.
Todd
I
actually
can
said
understand his point of view.
he was like he doesn't want to
he
work
feels
his way up again,
disrespected.
basically.
Yeah, and I understand that. I know a lot of people were like, well, he's just not a dog and all that stuff. But you come from being like an undrafted. What was he, a late round pick or undrafted guy? I think he was undrafted, right?
I want to say he was a 6th round pick, but either way, a late guy,
like that.
basically.
Yeah, he was, a borderline, guy. He was on the bubble, and then he winds up like leading the Broncos in tackles like for the past 4 years, and then now he's being put in position, signed to a team where he's a depth guy that has to fight for a role again against a former running back that from Georgia that turned into a linebacker. And Tate Crowder.
I could care less about Todd Davis.
Huh?
Once Reggie Ragland started practicing, I could care less about Todd Davis.
Right, exactly. I
didn't know if Reggie Ragland was going to come back, so that's what had me like, okay, Todd Davis makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Once Reggie Ragland's there, you got him and Tate Crowder, who are going to be over Todd Davis, and then Coughlin probably would have been ahead of him too. So
yeah, and then that's another thing why he's probably like, man, there's like one position left, and there's like 3 guys competing there. Like, what am I going to do over there? You know what I'm saying? So. And obviously, I don't think Giants fans have a problem with it because Carter Coughlin looks pretty good.
Yeah, and getting back to Carter.
It was like, this is the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my life and left.
Yeah.
Getting back to Carter, though, how he looked good. Where do you see him projected, on the depth chart for the linebacker? There was a few Giants fans that said, bold take, he's going to be the 2nd starting middle linebacker next to Blake. I don't know what that.
Yeah, no disrespect.
I think he can work his way up there, though. Why not?
Yeah.
He's got the range and speed. He could probably be put on certain packages.
By week 1, though.
I don't see that happening.
No, I don't think so.
Here's the thing: is that preseason game looked awesome, but he wasn't tested in coverage, and I don't know if he's going to be able to deconstruct blocks well when they're taking head up. But he plays aggressively quick, and that's like a good role next to Blake Martinez. So. Why not? And I was a big Tate Crowder fan. Like, I was banging for him to play him.
I'm the big Tate Crowder fan this year. I was the one that was like, I think he's gonna be our 2nd middle linebacker. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I do think he still will be, but Carter Coughlin, go out there and take it. Like, why not?
Yeah.
What a move for the Giants, though. Like, who do you think? I don't know. Maybe it was a combination of all the coaches, but I love the fact that we took an outside linebacker, moved him inside, and then last year we had the inside linebacker and Cam Brown.
Yeah, Cam Brown.
It's like they were like, nah, you're better over here, bro.
Yeah.
And Ken from Philippines, what's up, man? All the way. Good morning. Yeah, it's morning over there. How you doing, man? He says, I think the best bet for O-line help is waiting until the cuts for 53-man roster. When is that? That's like after preseason, right?
Yeah, it's
right after the 4th, right? Or right after the 3rd one.
Yeah, it's like that. I think it used to be like the Saturday. Like last year was on this it was like the Saturday before the season. I think they're doing it on like a Tuesday or something now.
There was like a whole bunch of cuts.
2 weeks from yesterday, I believe.
So let's get into the Keon Crossen thing. I was saying earlier, me and KB basically gave our thoughts. So Bob, I'm gonna hand it over to you for this. How'd you feel about basically giving up a 6th round pick for a guy that seems like he's gonna be a special teamer, and then just what you think he's gonna be in the first place with the team?
If they plan on using him as like a depth corner, like actually as a corner, and they like him as a corner, then I'm fine with it. If it's truly just special teams, then I don't like it. I don't like trading a 6th round pick for someone who's just special teams. But if they do if they view him higher than they do Isaac Yiadom, I was like, then cool with it. And then they trade Isaac Yiadom, like, oh, they definitely do. And then they bring in another.
They bring in somebody else, yeah.
If they really do like him as like a corner prospect to be one of their backup corners, then I'm cool with it. But if they view him as like Nate Ebner, where it's like you just play special teams.
Speaking of, if we bring in this guy, is Nate Ebner gone?
I hope so. I've been looking for every reason to keep Ebner away. So maybe then I'll like him more. But he's fast now, supposedly.
Can we bring back Michael Thomas? I like Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas was good.
He was in my free agent preview. Like, why not bring back Michael Thomas? He can play decent safety.
I never liked the fact that we replaced him with Ebner, man.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
And he was a leader.
A few Judge things that I'm not a fan of is his love for Nate Ebner.
Yeah.
He has a new love for Keon Crossen, bro, probably. Because Crossen was on the Texans. Was he on the Patriots before that? I could look this up now. Wow. There's always a Patriots connection, man. Always there. And then speaking right to the Isaac trade, First of all, it took mad long for no reason for them to reveal what the compensation was. I got hype when we traded him because I was like, yo, we could get like the center out of Oregon that Green Bay got last year, and we could get him as inside depth, or we could get like my guy Cole Van Lannon. I can't remember if he was out of Wisconsin or somewhere else that I actually wanted the Giants to take this year. I was like, Green Bay has some young inside O-line depth, bro. Maybe we're gonna get that, and then we get Josh Jackson back, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed, but like, how did you guys feel about that?
Can we banish announcing one half of trades?
Right?
Sucks. It's
Yeah,
like,
I
how
know.
am I supposed to react to this? Give me the other half. Like, I can think about it and be logical about it. Hey, if they think Josh Jackson's better, then cool. If he ends up not being better, then it sucks. It's like the most simple trade of all time. They're both on expiring deals, so contract has nothing to do with it.
Keon is also on an expiring deal, right?
Yeah, he is. So hey, if Josh Jackson's better than Isaac Yiadom, cool. If he's not, then it's a bad trade. I mean, it's the most simplest of trades I've ever seen in
Do
my
you
life.
think we need him though? Like honestly, how many cornerbacks do we have now?
Well, the thing is, I think like Isaac Yiadom, his career was kind of, although he wasn't great with the Broncos and he was pretty much a meme with the Broncos, I think he did a little better with us. Although he wasn't great, I think he did more of a decent job that we're giving him credit for. But then Josh Jackson is like the opposite. He was the highly regarded cornerback, and then he kind of went down. He started 10 games, was terrible. Started no
Had 10
games
pass
in his
deflections
second
rookie
season.
year.
Yeah, started 0 games in his second season, and then started 5 games last year, and was pretty bad. And was pretty bad in his past preseason game. Had over 500 reps at special teams, so he seems like he's more of a special teams player now. And so I'm wondering why we got rid of a corner that plays decent corner that was our number 2 last year. Now is our like number 4 or 5 corner now, and we traded for a special teamer. So it's kind of confusing. Depending on what they want to do with Josh Jackson is how we're going to determine if this was a good trade or not. But I'm still waiting to see what the purpose was of it, because if we're looking at pure upside, I honestly think Yiadom is a better corner than Josh Jackson.
Yeah, I think they view Jackson as just a better corner. I don't think that one's special teams motivated. I watched one game of Jackson today. He didn't look great, but I think he didn't look like any worse than Yiadom. I think he looked better in man coverage. Now he gave up a couple catches, but I thought he looked better in man coverage, and that's probably what Patrick Graham wants to run more man coverage. And I actually voted Isaac Yiadom as most improved last year.
Yeah,
from start to finish, I thought he got better as the year went along.
He had a couple good passive defense, especially in the end zone too. He had a couple of good ones.
He was the worst starter on a good defense last year. So, it's I do think this is like more cornerback depth than Crossen, where Crossen seems like only special teams.
Yeah.
Max, by the way, you're hilarious. He says we can't forget about Devontae Downs. I would love to forget about Devontae Downs.
Yes, we please. Someone mentioned Curtis Riley.
Yeah,
too.
Curtis. He said real ones remember Curtis Riley. Can you believe Curtis Riley had like 3 interceptions that year?
Yo, I remember when the
something
Titans
like
signed him the very next year.
He took a gallon of milk because of Curtis Riley, and he refuses to do it. He's like, "Oh, God."
Yo, I remember when the Titans signed him the very next, basically the next offseason. There were Titans fans saying this guy had 3 interceptions on the Giants. We're set. I was like,
the
the
Steelers signed him.
I was like, ain't no way. They're saying Curtis Riley's a good player, bro. Nah,
Dude, the Steelers do that. They take bad corners and they do something good with them. Apparently, he wasn't terrible with the Steelers.
Ain't no
apparently,
way, bro.
Apparently, he wasn't terrible. They make bad corners good. I mean, you look at half the corners that they have that are good. You never even heard these guys before.
If you tweet at Curtis Riley, he'll tweet back at you. He told Justin off once.
What'd he say?
He wants the smoke. He's the KD of the NFL.
If Curtis Riley makes a roster, he's like, I'll chug a gallon of milk or something like that in the video. Curtis Riley responded like, get your milk ready, fat boy, or something like that.
Hey, that's pretty savage, bro. I can respect that. He wants to smoke. I can respect
Justin never drank. He made the roster, and Justin didn't drink the milk.
So he welched. Wow.
Yeah, he's like, oh, there's no you can get seriously sick or die from
bro.
chugging.
Come on now.
You did 3 interceptions, listen. Curtis Riley, a disservice, Justin.
Listen. Have you ever seen the regular show episode where Pops drank the milk, bro? He never gave up.
No.
Nick Calvin got a pretty good question too. He's like, going into the second week of preseason, which rookies would you like to see more on the field? And we're gonna see more of everybody on the field. With Cleveland coming up, it's Sunday, right? Please tell me it's Sunday. I hate a Saturday game.
Yeah, it's Sunday
Yeah,
at
Sunday at 1
1
o'clock.
o'clock,
How about
man.
that? That's kind of
Yeah.
beautiful. It's like you get the whole day to like kind of process it. I'm a
You
big
get a
fan of that.
legit feel of like almost like an NFL game.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, well, first of all, my guy Aziz didn't do what I said he would. I said this man was gonna come out here, bro, wreck shop, get three sacks on the Jets. He got a great.
Yeah, all that. Okay, I
Yeah.
like that.
He had a great run stuff. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. That
He didn't
wasn't
look
his-
terrible. He
Nah,
didn't look
nah, listen,
terrible.
bro,
but-
Aziz is still.
Beckman handled him besides that one
Yeah.
rep.
Yeah.
Listen,
Um,
Aziz is still my defensive rookie of the year until further notice. Okay, that's what I'm
Oh,
gonna say.
hey, Beckman's a beast. So it's like I don't think he should be ashamed of that.
Yeah,
and he did win that one rep, and they only played a little
Beckman's
bit.
like
so.
the largest man in the NFL. Okay, like how many people are gonna push him around?
He's
Yeah.
the only offensive lineman that has like a fun highlight tape is Mekhi Becton.
Yeah.
Not Andrew Thomas, bro. Give some respect to my man AT.
He did, but Mekhi Becton has the most fun highlight film. It's
Yeah.
Alright,
It's like
okay.
it's like WWE.
beautiful. I've never seen someone throw grown men like that.
Yeah.
I introduced
NFL grown
you.
men.
Okay, now I was about to say I introduced you to Andrew Thomas's bear swipe that he does every now and then, and it just sends people
Yeah.
flying, baptizing people on the field. But in terms of rookies on the field, Calvin, I'll be honest with you, we only have like 2 healthy rookies to begin with, and it is Aziz and Rodarius. Everybody else is dealing with some. Kadarius still something with COVID, I think it is. Aaron Robinson had a what was it, an abdomen surgery or like a core injury?
Like core muscle injury or something.
Yeah, there's literally only 2 out of our 6 rookies are even healthy to see the field.
And
Calvin.
Ellerson Smith is hurt.
Yeah, so I mean,
He's somebody out.
Ellerson Smith in the preseason
Yeah, he's
more
the,
than any of the rookies. and-
he's the guy that I want to see the most out of all the rookies. Well, besides Kadarius Toney, because he's our first round pick, but I really want to see what Ellerson Smith can do.
mhm.
Just because I feel like in the 4th round we can really get a steal out of that guy, in my opinion.
I just want him to get one sack I could get excited about and use for the next year until he actually has to play.
Yeah.
do you legitimately, because there's a lot of people that's high on him. Are you one of those guys that is like legitimately high on him?
Well, if O'Shane sucks like he always does, I think he will get
This
the reps.
year, no, I don't think he's going to do anything this year. He can though. He is a high like a high risk, high reward type guy, and Ellerson, because he has that size, he does have the athleticism. It's just putting it together.
Mhm.
But I wasn't the biggest fan of that pick. I thought there was better edge guys.
Mhm.
But the guys that I thought were better, like they don't have as high as the ceiling as Ellerson.
Mhm.
Basically, Ellerson needs to get better this year. Learn how to play football
He's
a
a
little more.
project player, right? So
Yeah, he is a
Yeah.
project player. Which I'm-
Definition of one, because he added 50 pounds since he last
and
played.
we're hoping that technically Pert is a project player as well. We're just hoping that he works out.
Yeah.
yeah, he had last year as a project. Now it's time to be the player this year.
Mhm.
That's funny. But I want to transition into now like the over under part when it comes to stats for the Giants. So I'm gonna let you guys pick. You want to do offense or defense first? Which one? All right.
Shoot it.
All
Dude,
right.
defense first and offense is more fun. So we'll finish with the more fun part.
All right, then
Okay,
good.
gotcha.
So defense first. All right. Let's start off with a guy in Leonard Williams. Okay, so we all know what he had last year: 11.5 sacks. I think what was it, 30 quarterback hits and stuff like that. Around 57 total tackles. So let's start off with the sacks first. I'm saying 9 sacks. So I do have him going, a little bit less than last year, but I think it might be made up by other guys getting sacks around him. What are you guys thinking? Over or under 9 sacks?
I'm going to go the under, but barely.
Really?
Yeah,
Under 9?
8.5, but I am going under. That's
Right.
a lot of sacks for a defense. If for
Or a
a
DT.
not named Aaron Donald to do that again, so I'm
Yeah.
going to go under too.
How you feel if he does give you over?
If he does, then that's fantastic.
Over. Oh, he needs to put some respect on his name, NFL.
Yeah,
He's right
yeah.
up there. If he can
You
do
got to
that,
be praised.
And he yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying, if he's proven that he's an awesome player. He gets the pressures, the hits every year. 2019 he didn't get the sacks, but if he can do that 2 years in a row, I mean, it's time to start being like, you know what, he was worth that top 5 pick that the Jets picked him with.
And the contract as well that we just gave him, or would you say he's already worth
Right.
the contract?
Yeah, I mean, free agents are always going to have big contracts, so I do think he's worth the contract.
Okay, then that's what's
If
up.
I want it to be cheaper, yeah, but it's that's not how free agency works.
Yeah, it's all about the market.
So QB hits the total QB hits he had last year was 30. Yeah, I'm on Pro Football Reference right now. He had 30 QB hits. What about over under 32, an increase in QB hits, or do you see that going down as well?
How many did he have in 2019?
In 2019, I'll pull it up right now. He had where in the world did it disappear to?
See, these are all his career high numbers. So it's like, does he do another career high?
Right.
So it sounds like we're down on Leonard, but I'm gonna go under again. That's a lot.
Yeah, in
It
2019 he had 16 quarterback hits.
Oh, wow, that's really
Yeah.
far down. Yeah, I gotta go the under.
Other
gotta
than
go the
30,
under.
the second highest he had was 25.
Gotta go the under there.
Under
I'm
for
going
Pro.
under.
All right. Wow. Even with the extra game?
Yeah.
Really?
Even with the
What about the extra game? Yeah, I'm still going under though.
yeah.
Barely. So would he get around 25 then, which is the second highest, or over under
Yeah,
that?
where I would see him at like 25 to 28.
So tackles last year was not a career high. He had 57 total tackles. What about around 60 total tackles this year?
I'm gonna say over because Dalvin's gone.
Yeah, his highest of his career is 68 back in 2016, I think.
Plus with the extra game, I'm going over on that one.
For tackles, for sure. All right, then. So at least we got some out there over for Leonard. And what do you think he's going to open up the spots for the guys, whether it's on the edge, whether it's Dexter Lawrence, maybe they get a couple sacks, or is it just going to be the same as it was last year?
I think Dex is gonna ball this year. I cannot wait to watch Dexter Lawrence
I
this year.
love Dexy.
I think he's gonna be a baller this year.
What you got for me on Dexter, man?
Oh, you want me to make up the number?
No, you could just give me one quick, like, maybe you could be a sack. All right, what is Dexter doing for us in terms of sacks next year? He had 4 last year, 2.5
how many
his
tackles
rookie year.
for loss did he have last
Yeah,
year?
TFLs.
Tackles for loss, he only had 6.
I'm gonna say 11 tackles for loss this
Wow,
year.
that's almost double.
It's his third year, man. He's gotta break out this year. Well, he's honestly already broken out, in my opinion, but he's gonna start hitting his stride this year, man. I'm really high on Dexter Lawrence too this year.
Real quick, shout out to Tudo for the $5 super chat. He says, "Salute my Giants Pisanos. Drop by your office to pay my respects, and for all Giants fans around the world, slap all Eagles fans on my way out." See ya, Tudo.
Yes,
I love
sir,
it whenever you
Tudo.
tune in.
That's right, Tudo.
So you got the tax for loss way up there. The sacks 5 over under. If it's 5, it's already a career high for him.
Over under 5, I'll go under. But it sounds like we're down on these players. But I'm gonna go.
Yeah, your over-unders are too high, Hub.
I told him that last time. I told him that his over
I
unders
feel
are
like
all
my
career
offensive
highs.
numbers are gonna be better, man. So what? Okay, so
I
he's
told him that
breaking out
last
in
week.
terms of tackles for loss. Let's do over under 3 then.
That's a perfect. That's good. Over under 3 because he was like 3.5 last year or something like that.
No, he was 4 last year,
4 last year.
and he had
okay.
2.5 in his rookie
Yeah,
year.
it's
over.
Over.
I'm gonna go over because I think he's gonna have like 3.5, 4.
All right, I'll be fair with the quarterback hits. I'm not gonna go with something high. Over under 9 quarterback hits.
That one's hard because it's like his job isn't to rush the passer because we have so much edge talent and
He had more than 9
Leonard,
last year.
right? And yeah, Leonard Williams there. Yeah, but we have better edge talent this year. So, man, I'll say he said 9. I'll say over just because I'm high on him. I'll say over.
QB hits as a stat, but I'll say over just because it's fun.
Just because it's fun. And then, all right, let's do pressures then. So pressures, once again, only 2 years to judge off of. Rookie year, 15 pressures. Last year, 16 pressures. So pretty consistent there. Let's do over under like 13.
Over.
Over. By a lot, by like 3, by like 4.
I think it would be. If I think he's gonna go same amount. Well, he had 4 sacks last year, right? Trying to translate that over. Yeah, I think he'll be right around where he was at. He was at 15 and 16. Maybe he'll get 17, 18.
Okay. Now let's go to a guy, Blake Martinez. Blake Machinez, the cyborg. What nickname y'all got for him? I call him Blake Machinez.
Blake Machinez.
Blake.
Big Blake is one just because that's his Twitter handle that people call him as well. So, total tackles. All right, you got to tell me his tackles are going up, man. That's literally all this man does, and he does it at a high level, and there's a whole extra game, all right?
What's that over under?
Over under 155.
God damn, man.
I say over as well, yes.
17th game, over.
Okay. Well, what's his career high? Like 140,
155.
155. Okay.
155 is his career high.
Okay, yeah, then I'll have to take the over just because he's such a consistent tackle machine. He's
17
consistent.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
155 is what his career high was back in 2019. It's funny because 2017 he led the NFL. 2018 he was second to Darius Leonard. 2019 with 155 he was third.
And nobody
And
respects this dude, man.
last year he was fourth. I think the NFL leading tackler last year had something crazy like 170 or something.
And nobody respects this dude, Blake Martinez, man. This man's gonna finish his career like one of the most tackles in the NFL, especially with this extra game coming
I
up.
feel like he's just destined to
This
be a
guy's
guy
gonna-
that not that many people know. It's kind of crazy that they underrate. We'll see.
Yeah, because he's just known as the cleanup guy, like in Green Bay, but he has a bigger role here with the Giants.
Now Blake, sometimes he comes up on the middle linebacker blitz. Obviously, he's there to beat him. Like he's not necessarily rushing the quarterback, but his career high in sacks is 5 back in 2018, and then he matched his career second highest 3 last year. Over under 2 sacks for Blake.
I don't want to keep saying over for all these players just because I don't know if we're gonna be like a top 5 team in sacks.
Say
but
over under 2.5.
Yeah.
Okay, over under 2.5.
Under.
Okay.
2.
Yeah. How much did you have last year? Just for a reference.
Last year he had 3.
Last year I had 3. I'm gonna take the over actually. I'm gonna take the over. See if they use him on linebacker blitzes.
Tackles for loss over under 8.
Tackle for loss.
Over. He had like what 9?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
he had
gonna
9
take
last
the.
year.
I'm gonna take over because he's able to play the run
Is 12 a good
very
number
well.
as a projection? Not over and under. Just do you think he could get somewhere
As a
around 12?
projection, yeah, I could see that. If he has a really decent year stopping the run, yeah.
And then last but not least for Blake, that is, let's do solo tackles. So his career high is 96. Last year he had 86. So I'll meet right in the middle and say over under 90.
Over.
Over. By a lot?
He's gonna get a lot of tackles this year. That's all.
Yeah, around 100. Yeah.
You think it's possible he leads the NFL again, or maybe he's gonna come back in 5th place?
He'll be top 5, I guess.
Yeah, he'll definitely be top 5. I don't know if I can say he'll lead it, but
Who was versed? Like Zach Cunningham, I think.
Yeah, somebody for the Texans, I remember.
Yeah, Zach
that's
Cunningham.
crazy. I like Zach Cunningham back in Vanderbilt, but then he was such a odd player to put in the inside.
Now we go over to James Bradbury. All right, and this is obviously a guy, all he does is bat passes. Well, not all he does, but you know what I'm saying? That's what he's known for. He bats the passes, second in the NFL last year with 18 passes defended. Let's do over under at 15. What do you guys think?
Pass defense.
Yeah.
Well, he's always been. I'm gonna. That might be a risk, but I'll take over.
Over 15? Under.
Take under. Yeah, I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna say he has another really good year because since 2018 he's like basically I think he almost leads the NFL and he's very close to leading the NFL since 2018 in pass defense.
He had
He's
15 in
he's-
2018, 12 in 2019, and then 18 last year. First 2 years was 10 each.
Yeah, I'll take over.
Say under.
Any specific reason?
Just we have a Dore now.
All right. You know that's a good enough reason, man. And then where is it? Where did this number escape my eyes to? Where is the interception? So yeah, he's not a big interception guy. So I'm gonna
He's
say,
like a 3 a year guy. He's like a 3 a year guy.
I'm gonna say
right?
over under 1.5.
Over.
Over.
Okay. He had 3 last year, 3 the year before,
Yeah.
and then like 1 the year before that.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll say
saying
I'll
over.
say I'll say over.
Oh, word. All right, then. And then speaking of the man Adoree Jackson, let me pull up his stuff real quick. Adoree is somebody that honestly, like, his rookie year is like the only year that has like.
It's gonna be
Oh,
hard.
numbers.
It's gonna be hard to really project Adoree Jackson's stats because his is all over the place.
He's never been. Well, maybe not never, but lately he's been the He's cornerback 2 for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's only played 1 full season as well, which was his rookie year. He started 13 games in 2018. He did play 16, but he missed time in the other games. And then 2019, 11 games, and last year only 3 games. Well, I over under on games played for Adoree Jackson, 10.
Over.
Games played.
Yeah,
I'm going over.
I'm serious. I mean, listen. I don't want to say or call for an injury, but we do have a
Yeah,
couple of guys that are a
Oh,
little
I
bit
understand why
concerned,
you
you know.
asked that. It's just funny how that was the first thing you asked about. um, my I guess pessimism is saying under, just because I have no faith in like players that have injury histories, because when they come to the Giants, it just never is better. It never gets any better. So I want to say under, but I'm gonna say over out of a hope of optimism. So
And then now we go to passes defended. Passes defended, he has 17
he's
as the
pretty
highest
good
in
at
his
that too.
career.
Yeah, he's pretty good
Yeah.
at that too.
And then 10, which was the very next year, and then the years after that is really when the injury struck. So I'm gonna say over under on 10 passes defended for Adoree.
Over. Yeah, over.
Over. What are you thinking, Bobby, with Adoree? Since you said you listed him as the reason for why James would have less passes defended.
I just think Adoree's going to have a good year being that cornerback too, and I think teams are going to like game plan versus James Bradbury, which is going to give Adoree a bunch of chances. I think when they're running zone, they're going to look to the nickel, which will probably be next to Adoree. Like I think teams are just going to try and avoid James Bradbury. Where in past, like last year, they didn't really try and just avoid him, but I think this year they will try to avoid him. So I think Adoree is going to get plenty
That
of
makes sense.
opportunities to make plays.
That makes sense too. He'll have less passive defense because the quarterback's just not going
They're
to
just
test
not
him.
gonna go his way.
Right.
You think teams actually recognize him as like a legit number one corner now?
I think they do this year now.
Yeah,
I,
definitely.
yeah.
Where do you have him? You know, just out of curiosity, is he a top 10 corner to you? Is he a bit higher than that?
I mean, I don't watch every corner, but top 10 easily. I mean,
Yeah.
the cornerback play we got last year was elite.
Yeah.
Have to be top 10 easily.
Yeah, I would definitely say top 10, and I would actually say top 5, but some people that don't watch the Giants may not put him in the top 5. So it's to each its own at that point. If if they don't have him in the top 5, I'm okay with that. But I think he's a top 5 corner. But
Is J.C.
you know.
Jackson better than James?
Oh
Bradbury?
God,
No.
man!
You already know why I'm asking it, bro.
If
Why?
you watch J.C. Jackson, he's not better than James.
You already
Bradbury.
know why I'm asking it, man. They had the NFL had him at what 40 something, and James at
Dude.
74.
They just look at the interception list.
Yeah.
Maybe J.C. Jackson is good now. I don't watch too much of the Patriots, but like I remember, I think it was 2018 or something like that, when the Patriots were in the playoffs. J.C. Jackson was like bullied in the playoffs. Like he was the guy they threw to, and it was constant completion. Did he get that much better this year? Last year, I don't know.
He had
But
2 interceptions last year, but that doesn't mean he's like.
yeah, it doesn't mean he's great. But it's like, golly, I don't know why they're. I know Cynthia Freeland. I know our favorite Cynthia Freeland had Stephon Gilmore
My
and J.C.
projections
Jackson.
say a 24 to 21 game.
Yeah, J.C. Jackson and Stephon Gilmore are the best corner duo in the NFL. That's what they're saying. I mean, Stephon Gilmore is great, but J.C. Jackson is the second guy. They're the best in the NFL. I don't agree with that, but
Last for Adoree before we go to Jabril, and then we'll go over to the offense. Over under 1.5 interceptions. So same number I gave for James.
Under. He doesn't get interceptions.
Yeah, he's not much of a ball hawk, so I'll say under.
And then now with Jabril, he had by far a career high in tackles last year with 91. And in the years before that, he got like around 79. So I'm going to say over under 85 tackles this year for Jabril.
I'm going to say under because Xavier McKinney.
Because of Xavier McKinney. And yeah, you know
That's
what?
true.
Because Xavier McKinney is healthy, how much do you think he's going to be rotated in?
I think it'll be less rotating in and more rotating around.
Yeah, I think they're gonna play that 3 safety system they used to do, don't they? So
Yeah, so I think
Right.
there's gonna be times where you see Terrell like as a deep 2, as a deep 2 high safety. I think they're really gonna try and get creative and move these guys around a ton.
yeah.
Tackles
So,
for loss, he had 8 last year, over under 5.
Over. I think he was like second for strong safeties and tackles for a loss, and he was first for strong safeties and passes broken up.
Yeah, I'll say over as well. He does a really good job when it comes to those short yards. Running up on a screen, blowing up a screen. He does pretty well at that, and running backs hitting the outside. He does a good job at that. So I'll say over.
Speaking of passes defended, that was the next one. 11 last year, so pretty high for his position indeed.
Yeah.
Over under 6.
Oh, 6? I'll say over. But just slightly. Like, yeah, there is very possible that just pushes. That it's exactly at 6 or maybe at 5. I'll say slightly over at like 7.
I'm gonna say a push 6.
Yeah.
6. All right then, bet. And then I think this is an over under. I'm gonna say this man gets 1 interception. He's had 1 interception every single year in his career. It's
Here,
like clockwork.
Washington too.
Yeah. Oh man. And then now let's go to the offensive side of the ball. Saquon. And listen, Bobby. I know you said that sometimes you feel like you forgot how good Saquon was. When I saw y'all had him at like 1,090 yards, I was like,
People
nah.
got so mad at that.
Can you come on now? You know
Kush
why.
Kush was leading the charge on that.
I don't know. It's not like I commented anything angry. I was just like 1,090, bro. You serious? All right, so we're gonna start off right with the yards, man. So my projection for Saquon this year is actually like it's funny. It's not even that far off from you guys. I had him in like 1196. So it's literally like probably just 100 yards more. But we'll do over under 1,100 yards rushing for Saquon Barkley.
Under.
Okay, I'm gonna.
They're going to ease it,
Man.
and it's hard to bet on Saquon being healthy for 17 full games.
That's true. And if he does get hurt again, that just screws everything up. I'm going to say under to be safe, but if he plays that 17-game stretch, even if he's in limited roles in the first couple weeks, I think he could get over. But just to be safe, because I don't think he's going to play all 17 games, just because of what his previous. I'm not saying he's injury prone, but just because of what his previous career has looked like, I'm gonna say he doesn't play all 17 and gets under.
If he plays all 17, it's an over, but like
Mm-hmm.
he hasn't done that since his rookie season. So
Right.
the sprain, we had the sprained ankle in 2019. He had like I think 1,002 yards that year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the 17 game rate that would be under. I'm going under. He only missed 2 games with that.
I mean, he missed 2, but he had what, like 1 rushing yard against the Jets?
He can blast this one over like this. He can just dominate this one. But it's
Right.
If I was not a Giants fan, just looking objectively, it's hard to bet on Saquon to be healthy for every week.
And then with the rushing touchdowns, over under 6.
That's a tough one.
I'm gonna say under.
I'm going to say over because the Giants Joe Judge likes to pound it in at the 1 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Like
would they use Saquon for that just because of not making sure he doesn't get hurt?
I do think they would. So
Okay.
I think they would. I'm going to say over.
Okay.
Then with his now receiving stats, over under, let's say 400 receiving yards.
Say it again.
I said over under 400 receiving yards.
That's
that's hard because Kadarius Toney.
What did you say there, Bobby?
How much yards per game would that be? I guess I could Google.
Oh yeah, I got you. It's so per game, 400.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me.
What?
You're not that guy.
It's 23.5.
Bro, what are you talking
Oh,
about,
23
man?
and a half.
I'm going to divide by 15 to do the injury thing again and say. Wait, that's not right.
100.
Yeah, I'm going to go over.
Yeah, I'll go over.
Another trivia question.
Okay.
What game did the starting running back have the most receiving yards in last year?
Last year.
Ours? I like our starting running back.
Who was our starting running back last year, bro?
I mean, Saquon week 1, Wayne Gallman.
Yeah, Wayne Gallman.
Alfred Moore, or just who was the best receiving game for a running back for the Giants in 2020?
That's a good question.
Do not tell me it was week 1 Steelers.
It was week 1 Steelers. It was Saquon week 1.
Wow. Yeah, because
he has a lot of receiving game even when it's not even planned. I'm saying over with Saquon.
Okay.
And I think there will be a conceded effort to get him involved in the receiving game this year too.
Okay, I was actually when it came to receiving, I was thinking along the same lines as KB. If Kadarius gets worked in, I was thinking maybe because we have another receiver, they might try to work him in a little bit. Well, okay, I could see that. Going to receivers, speaking of Kenny Golladay, so he's another guy where it's just like, man, not sure how in the world you could actually try and say what this guy's gonna do this year. But I think his best season was in 2019 in terms of receiving yards with 1190, and also in terms of receiving touchdowns with 11 touchdowns, and he played all 16 games in 2019. So for Kenny Golladay, very simple, over under 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they call me crazy here. I don't think this would be a bad season. I'm gonna say under, but I'm not gonna say that's gonna be a bad season for him. I just think they're gonna spread the ball around a lot more. I don't think he's gonna be that target that Matt Stafford had him. And Matt Stafford was just let's just be clear. Matt Stafford's a way better quarterback than Daniel Jones is right now, and I don't know if Kenny Galladay is going to have the same production right off the bat in the first year as he did with the Lions, because he was a big target with the Lions. So I'm going to say under 1,000 yards, but like high on the touchdowns. But yeah.
That's a tough one because there's only 58 yards per game.
Oh, that's true though, because the extra game.
And he didn't get a ton of target, but he wasn't like a super high target guy even in Detroit.
Right, he was a big play guy,
That's a tough one. You know what? I'm going to say over because there's going to be one game where he has like 180 yards, so I'm going over.
I think there was a game like that in 2019, wasn't there, where he had like around like 150 plus, I think, or something like that. It was crazy.
Was that the Thanksgiving game?
Thanksgiving game, yeah.
Yeah, Thanksgiving game, yeah.
With David Blau as quarterback, so yes, I'm saying over.
Mr. Blau.
They had Marvin Jones on that team too, who got a ton of catches.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling good about saying over.
And then with the receiving touchdowns, let's do like over under. I'll do the same thing I did with Barkley for rushing. Over under 6 receiving touchdowns.
Oh, I say over.
Over.
I think he's gonna get 10, 11.
11 is his career high. So does he match it then?
Yeah, I think he'll get 10, 11. Yeah.
I think he'll get 10 on the dot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then bet going to Kadarius Toney. Actually, Kadarius is a rookie. Let me save him for later. All right, let me go to Darius Slayton, who's been like super consistent through his first 2 years with the Giants.
Pretty much. Well, as far as statistics go, not really on the field. Not really on the field.
As far as the production goes, he's literally almost identical. 740 receiving yards his rookie year off of 84 targets. Last year, 751 off of 96 targets. 8 touchdowns his rookie year, 3 last year. So this year, over under, let's do like 550 receiving yards.
Over. I'm a big year for Slayton.
I struggle with this one because I think Kenny Galladay is gonna have like right around like 970.
32 yards a game.
Yeah, but like at the same time, you have like if Sterling Shepard has a really big year, and because I personally believe Sterling Shepard has a chance to be the leading receiver on this team as a bold prediction. So if he gets a lot of yards and Kenny Galladay is right around 1,000, I mean it would be. I guess I'll say over 550, but it wouldn't be that much over. I think he'll get right around the 6, maybe top off at 7, but I'll say over 2.
Okay. 33 yards a game. I'm expecting more out of that than Darius Slayton, so I'm saying over.
And then with the receiving touchdowns for Darius Slayton, over under 4.
Over, because I remember when we did our combined touchdowns for Galladay, Slayton, it was like an over, so I'm saying over.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say over because he's going to be that burner that he is on the team, and Daniel Jones really likes him as a target. So
and I think Shepard doesn't get a lot of touchdowns. I think it's going to be very concerted, like Galladay, Slayton get the touchdowns on this team.
Yeah,
Sterling Shepard.
If you're going to get one, you're going to have to break off one.
Mm-hmm. Shepard's that possession guy. Yeah,
the most touchdowns he ever had in his career was his rookie year, 8, and then it's literally just kind of declined since.
Crazy, he had 8 that many his rookie season.
Because he was
that week 1 game was great. His first game against the Cowboys, that little wheel route he ran and caught over that defender for a touchdown. That was great.
So for Sterling Shepard, let's do over 500 yards.
Over.
Sterling,
said over. Yeah. The only way he's not is if he gets hurt, which happens
all the time.
Let me raise it a little bit. Then let's do over under 600 yards.
Over. I think
over.
Like I said, I think as a
like 800.
Last year he had 656.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sterling Shepard only had 800 yards once in his career. That was in 2018, which was his best year where he had.
And let's get something straight. In 2017, I think is his best year, even not statistically, but his best year. He just didn't play a lot of games that season. He had like 751 in 2017.
Yeah, he had
right?
731 in 11 games.
731.
And then in 2018, he had 872.
That man, if he was healthy that year, that man could have gone for 1,200 yards in 2017. He was getting like 150 a game.
Yeah, he was.
That dude was.
That
dude, it was insane. I'm gonna say over.
I do believe they're gonna spread it out, and it's like and I don't want to put the expectations on the offense like to be baller. Right. So I'm saying over. I'm saying
still 600 over.
I'm going to say over. I'm going to say he gets close to 1,000.
Bad year for yards and points for the Giants offense. That it's going to be better. So these over-unders, I'm raising the standard on them, and I'm saying over for all their yards.
By the way, what up, amazing guy, Durant Osman. diehard Giants fan and Miz in here. Touchdowns, like you guys were saying, it's probably gonna be like the tight ends, Galladay and Slayton. So over under, let's do 3 touchdowns for.
I think
Shepard.
it's we'll say say like 2.5 or 3.5 because I think 3 is
then
right.
2.5 then.
Okay, I'll say over because I think he's gonna get right around 3, but that's it.
I think he'll get 1 or 2.
1 or 2.
Okay, 1 or 2.
I bet that's what's up. Evan Ingram over under turnovers 20.
Over.
Over. Oh man.
Is there actually does Pro Football Reference can it show me
How
many
many
turnovers they had, man?
how many muffed catches turn into interceptions?
That's a
Freaking
great question.
6.
I don't see it anywhere where if it's showing me turnovers, man. That would be hilarious if it did.
I really hope that just doesn't happen this year.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna have a
That
better
was
year just
brutal.
because
How can that
he's not in that
happen so many
position.
times in 1 year? How could that happen so many times in 1 year where a wide
Right?
receiver bounces up an interception for the like? It's unreal.
He's done it like at least 5 times in just one season.
And one got called back, like it got reversed.
Yes,
Remember the
and
walk?
one thing. Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
Durant is saying he only had. It felt way more than 7 turnovers last year. Wow.
7 is a lot for a tight end.
7 is a lot. That's one player.
Bro, it felt like
That's
he was
one
giving me a
player.
turnover every game, bro.
Oh, yeah, but I mean,
You
there were
can't
some
tell me
games
it
he had a
didn't feel like
decent
that.
game. I mean, some games he had a decent game. Like Cincinnati, he had a decent game. You know, so
But no, yeah. With all jokes aside, I do think he's gonna have a better year this year because like he's not gonna be forced the ball like he was. Like that alone
I
takes
mean,
off so much pressure.
let's be real, man. We say that every year. We say that every year. about
Well,
Evan
barring
Ingram.
health, you know what I'm saying. So Evan
Yeah, the
Ingram.
1 year
Yeah, go ahead,
like
Bob.
his worst.
What you said?
The 1 year he stays healthy was like his worst year.
Yeah.
It's better when he's off the field.
Like his best year statistically still remains his rookie year with 722 yards. Last year was his second best in terms of production with 654. So let's say over under 600 yards for Evan Ingram.
Under.
Under. Do you
Mhm.
think we're splitting with Rudolph then a good amount, or is that just as a result of the receivers?
Well, I think Rudolph's gonna be hurt. But,
Both.
yeah.
But even if he got rid of Rudolph, I would still say under.
And then over
Mhm.
under 2.5 touchdowns.
Under.
Under.
He's not a red zone threat.
Evan just ain't getting it this year, huh?
Nope. Sorry, Lauren.
It can be all under, and I can still be happy with him as long
Yeah.
as he doesn't turn.
As long as he, because remember, he's not going to be that number 1 target he was last year. He's obviously going to have more of a limited role because of all the talent that we have. So if he has a year where all of his statistics are down, but he's catching the ball whenever he's thrown the ball, then I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And now finally, Daniel Jones. Over under 4,100 passing yards,
Damn.
which would automatically be the best of his career, even if it's a push at 4,100.
And what's his career high?
It's like 3,000, isn't it? I could pull it up right now.
3,000. Yeah, give me the under.
Bro, I mean, he's only had 2 years, right?
Yeah,
He's
but
missed-
3,000 what?
Yeah, 3,027 in 2019.
Oh, under.
Yeah, I'll say under. Probably gonna be around 38, 37.
Yeah, I was gonna say
He's
like
out.
36, 37.
So
Yeah.
you had the under on Galladay, the over on Shepard and Slayton, but he's still getting only around 3,800 yards.
What do you mean only 3,800 yards?
Well, I said
Well, those are
1,000
the
for
main
Galladay.
weapons. You know what I'm saying?
1,000 for Galladay. 1,200 between Shep and Slayton. That's 2,200.
Mm-hmm.
Give Ingram and Rudolph combined 500, 600. That's 27.
Mhm.
Saquon 400. Then you got an extra 700 yards to spare to sprinkle around.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get to 4,000.
Okay, then. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure if he's getting to 4,000 either. we'll have
If
to
he
see.
does, dude, if he does, then he does. You know what I'm saying? That means these wide receivers are catching the ball and we're actually able to move the offense downfield. But I just because I don't know if Daniel Jones is there in his career yet, or the receivers are really there and are really there, and the scheme is there to really open up a lot of yards for the wide receivers. Because remember, a lot of those yards happen after the catch. You know what I'm saying? What last year, Daniel Jones's yards were pretty much coming where he threw it because they were not running after the catch. You know what I'm saying? They were getting the ball and getting tackled immediately right after. So,
I was gonna say he can definitely get it. It's just doing it, and if he's healthy all 17 games, it's very doable. If he misses a game, like if I think at his 2019 pace, like he would have hit 4,000 in 17
Yeah.
games,
Yeah.
which is like what was this 2019 per game hub, like 230, 235.
Yeah, right around there. It's like 232.
Okay, so yeah, he would have been at like 3,900 with that pace. So
Hmm.
so I'll say he's gonna be at like 3,900.
Mhm.
By the way, I want to say my biggest fan is in the chat. Shout out to Paola. Hi, Paola. How you doing?
He
hope
said
everything's
my
Listen, I got a connection. All right, you're just jealous
You
of, of what we got built. Over under 24 touchdowns, passing touchdowns. Daniel Jones.
Oh man.
We're under 24.
Yeah, 24 is what he had exactly his rookie.
Yeah, in his rookie season.
He only played 12 games. I'm saying over.
I want
I
to
had
say
Galladay
over.
at like 10. I had Slayton at yeah. I'm going over.
I want to say over. I do. Yeah, I'm gonna say over. I don't want to like overrate how I feel like he's gonna play. Of course I really want Daniel Jones to do well. I think he can. I guess I could say right over 26, 27,
I
hopefully.
mean, it's not like a huge number either, you know.
Mhm.
Right. And that'll be a decent season for him in 26, 27. Yeah, I'll say over just slightly.
And before I ask you about his rushing things, how do you feel about using him in the rushing game at all? Like, do you just want him to scramble when the pocket breaks down? Do you want them to throw in a little, option plays in there? What do you guys think?
I like it.
Use it.
Yeah, if you have it, use it. But I mean, don't wear it out like Cam Newton. Don't just like have the guy in the design run every third play because obviously I don't think his body's gonna be built for that. So I whenever you feel the opportunity, whenever you see it on the field, maybe you can check to it, and then you call your design run or whatever the case may be. But definitely, if he's in a situation where he's rolling out the pocket and he sees open field and nobody's open, freaking take it all the time. Just take just run. But yeah, I'm definitely not on board with like if we start using him like Carolina used Cam Newton, and you just don't do that.
Keep him on the edge. Stop using like QB power. Like
Right.
keep him out on the edge.
Right.
So then, getting to the rushing yards, let's do over under 290.
What do you have last year?
He had 423.
Oh. Well, being that they just started using him to run like mid-season, and he had 490, I'm gonna say over just because he has a full season to run, and also we have an extra game. I'll say over to what was it?
Let's just do 300. 290 is such a weird number. Let's just do over
300.
300.
Oh man, 300. I don't know. It was at 290, and then you put a 300, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know if he's gonna be under now.
I'll say he had a lot of big runs last year. Like we
He
remember
did.
the 80-yarder versus Philly, but like the San Fran game, he like broke off like
Right.
a
He had a
40-yarder
40-yarder
walk.
against Philly as well. Yeah.
I'm gonna say over though. I'm gonna say over 300 just to be optimistic, and I feel like he could still break out those runs. Although obviously they have film to prepare for Daniel Jones, I still feel like he can catch an offense or two slipping, and he could break a big run out.
I'm gonna say less because we're gonna be less reliant on it.
I agree. I'm gonna say over for optimism.
Okay. That's really all I had. I mean, just in general, where do you see if let's say the offensive line is an average line pass blocking wise, and I think we're already at least an average line run blocking wise, what do you see this offense being next year?
Should the expectation has to be 19th or better because that's what it was in Daniel Jones' rookie year with a worse offensive line with worse weapons. Saquon was banged up that year, so it has to be middle of the pack. Like that should be the expectation. Like you have all the same pieces but better than that year. So the expectation has to be middle of the pack for me. I'm like I know they were dog crap last year in the second worst, but that was a lot to do with play calling. So wake your ass up and play to Daniel Jones' strengths and don't play scared. So I'm like, it's got to be middle of the pack. Like, I don't think that's a crazy ask. And if it's not, and if you're missing the playoffs because of it, then people need to go.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm in agreement with Bobby. I'm not gonna take 21st, 22nd, and then everybody's like, oh look, but we improved 7 spots. I'm not like you said in his rookie year, we're 19th or 20th. It has to be a lot better than that. Our weapons are far better than what they were in those past couple of years. And although the offensive line still is very questionable, I think it's still probably a better offensive line because of Andrew Thomas hopefully being consistent at left tackle. That helps him. Right, exactly. So I feel like that's going to help out a lot. So it's got to be.
Who was our right tackle? Oh yeah, Eric Flowers was our right tackle.
Mike Remmers.
No,
Mike
Remmers.
Yeah, Mike Remmers.
Yeah, Remmers in 2019.
Is Pert better than Remmers? Right.
Right. Yeah, he's got to prove it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can look off. If you're going off of what he was as a rookie. No.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Donald Giants fan for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. He says, question to everyone. Saquon absolutely kills it this season. Prove himself healthy without question. Do we find room to sign him, or do we trade for D capital?
Oh man. Draft capital.
Oh, draft capital.
Unless you're extending Saquon, honestly, it's just going to happen unless he has a serious injury again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Dave Gettleman is gonna double down on his decision to get Saquon, and then
even if it's not, no way they're just not gonna let Saquon walk like that.
Right, exactly. So I feel like just because Dave Gettleman just wants to, if he has a decent year, there's no reason not to, because he's honestly, you see how valuable he is to this franchise. They're babying him. They have caretakers around him all the time. So they're probably gonna have to find a way to sign him. And listen, man, he's a natural leader. He looks like the face of this team, and so they're probably gonna want to keep him around longer.
And then Cresley says, what's your thoughts on the media hyping up this wide receiver, Quez Watkins?
Oh my God!
AKA
the guy takes a freaking screen pass to the house, and now they think he didn't even do anything. That was just terrible defense. Quez Watkins from the Eagles in the preseason game, he took a screen to the house. He literally did not watch that screen. He did nothing. I mean, dude, he didn't do anything. He just ran. And then he had a deep pass too as well. I mean, man. He doesn't look any better than what Darius Slayton looks like. He just looks like a burner. That's pretty much, and he doesn't look any faster. He looks like Darius Slayton.
Over under like 2 wins for the Eagles this year, bro.
Under.
We're gonna get 3 over.
Yeah, I really think they're gonna max out at 4. I don't think this.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 4 as well, probably. I don't know how Philadelphia fans could convince themselves somehow that they're competing for an NFC
It's hurt
spot.
season, baby. It's hurt season.
Yeah.
But then when you hear a little news about Deshaun Watson, automatically they're ready to throw Jalen Hurts out the window. But we never liked him anyway. I'll take Deshaun Watson.
Eagles fans are special. I love them.
Yeah, and then they hear that Deshaun Watson, the talks are slowing down. Now they're back on Jalen Hurts. Oh, they're just gonna settle with Hurts.
What do you think about the Cowboys, Bobby? I've heard interesting opinions. Some people actually think that the Cowboys might be in the race for the NFC East more than people give them.
I honestly think they're more in a race with the East with us than Washington is. Call me crazy.
I agree with that. Their offense can be really good. They have Dak. Their O-line has gotten a little more healthy. Those trio of wide receivers and then Zeke, like they can be an awesome offense. I don't know how Dak's going to look coming off of the ankle. Now their defense sucks, but I think their defense will probably be a little better, I guess.
But it was historically bad last year.
That's why it'll probably be a little better.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get any worse. Yeah, you're right.
They had Micah Parsons, the rookie corner. What's the rookie corner out of Alabama they had?
Last year they had Diggs, didn't they?
Trevon Diggs.
So he's a year better. I view Dallas as more as a threat than Washington.
Yeah, and it's like everybody keeps talking about Washington's defense, but you guys got to remember Washington's defense has had a good roster for years now. Everybody's paying attention to it now. They just never been able to put it together. They're going to be a good defense this year, but if we think that I'm seeing the media give Washington 11, 12 wins, which is mind-blowing.
He's not a good quarterback.
He's going to be good for the first 3 games, and then they're going to look to Taylor Heineke, and although I like Taylor Heineke's story –
Taylor Heineke is probably a better bet for them, bro, than Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, but, I mean, are you really – Taylor Heineke did a valiant job in the playoffs, okay? With the circumstances he was under, the dude was, like, working at McDonald's, and they brought him in. You know what I'm saying? So he did fine. to go ahead and go into a season and say, listen, with this great defense that Washington has and the 3 games that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to play well in, that they're going to win 12 games, you got to be out of your mind.
Yeah, I view Dallas as more of a threat because of their offense.
Yeah, their offense is ridiculous. And that's why everybody calls me a Cowboys fan, because last year I knew that their offense was going to be number 1. And they were until Dak got hurt.
They were what? They were
be
still
around
1-3 with Dak there, were they not?
Yeah, but they were scoring 40 points a game, dude. It was because the defense was terrible. I didn't expect their defense to be that bad. But
so then how much better is their defense actually this year?
You don't need to be much better. Their defense was so bad.
They're very flawed. We're not saying that, but it's like so is every team in the East.
Right. So I think honestly it's going to come down to the Giants and the Cowboys, and it's not, yeah.
I think all 3 of those teams should be expecting to win the division.
Right.
Like Giants should be expecting to win the division. Washington should be expecting. Dallas should be expecting. But I do view Dallas as more of a threat than I do Washington.
Yeah. And the Eagles could take a back seat. They could take a back seat.
Thinking about Spencer Rattler?
Dallas or Washington? I'd rather play against Washington than Dallas.
Should the Eagles be thinking about Spencer Rattler right about now?
Thinking about somebody besides Jalen Hurts.
Deshaun Watson. That's all they're thinking about.
All right, but that's going to be it for tonight, guys. We already went for an hour 40. I want to thank, first of all, everybody in the chat for tuning in. You guys were amazing tonight. Cookie Monster, Cresley, Duran, Thrill Collins, Paul Nonas, everybody in here. Too many people to list. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to my host, KB, as usual, for being here. And, of course, Bobby, thank you for popping on as well, guys. Any last thoughts before we close it out?
Good, Bobby.
Thank you, guys. How about I didn't realize you were so tall until we met at FanFest last week?
Dude,
I should be saying that to you. Well, actually, I did.
Yeah, I got way too many comments. You should be getting. I didn't realize how tall you were.
It's only what 6'2", 6'3".
Then you would be shocked at how short I am, dude.
I've seen your football videos. I know.
You seen it? You think the Giants can sign me, man?
Hey, you and Sandro could battle it out. We just got to say you're from like a different country or something. So yeah, it's always fun, guys. I mean, I always love coming on here, and like I said, it feels like football season again. Talking to you guys.
Hey man, I appreciate it. Anything you want to plug? Player profiler. What's the next one coming out for you guys?
Tomorrow is. What is tomorrow? I can't remember. Well, Will Hernandez and.
Ooh, Hernandez.
I don't even remember. Just check out the channel and check out what we got.
Check it out, guys. Subscribe.
Next week, please click on stuff because we have a big week next week, and I can't announce exactly what, but show up next week.
All right, guys. You already know. Link is in the description down below. I got his Twitter link and the Talking Giants podcast link as well. KB, anything coming up for you, bro?
No, not really. I'm just trying to figure out things to do before the season ramps up. Nothing really big going on channel, guys, but yeah, subscribe to Talking Giants, guys. They put up the best, probably one of the best Giants content on YouTube right now, man. Definitely worth the watch.
More so to listen, honestly. It's easy to listen to them on Spotify or something, like when you're like at the gym. But
leave us a 5-star rating review on Apple. We got a couple 1-stars, so I'm trying to shuffle those down. And then someone left a 3-star, but they meant to leave a 5-star. It's like the title is
mess that up.
They just click the buttons wrong. Like it says, "Talking Giants first the world." Bobby and Justin are the goats, and 3 stars.
They're the goats, but just worth.
They're
3
the
stars.
goats, but I don't like them, so 3 stars.
He just pressed the button the wrong way. There's no way of proving that. So, but that's what it is.
How many listeners do you guys have on Apple Music and Spotify?
I feel like no one's shares that. I feel like it's supposed to be a big secret. More than what we do on YouTube, I'll say that.
Oh,
well,
wow.
I think I know that because YouTube is kind of recent compared to how long you guys have been on the actual listening realm. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get videos that certain videos will do better on YouTube, but for the most part, the podcast. Let me read some 1-stars. Horrible. Might be the dumbest Giants pod out there. They just paste what beat writers say. This Skinner guy sounds like a moron. I'm pretty sure that's Giant Insider because they don't like me.
Oh,
who's
God.
Giants Insider?
Exactly. Justin is clearly
Great answer. Great answer.
all blather, sometimes funny, mostly bad, easily the worst Giants podcast.
Oh my God.
And But we got like 907. So you're gonna have some. I know we're gonna have some 1-stars, and I'd rather have a 1-star than a no-star. But I just want the 5 stars at the top. So leave us some 5 stars.
I
You
bet.
heard it from the
You
man.
guys
Leave
heard
some
the
five
man,
stars,
bro.
guys. Yep.
But that's going to be it for today, guys. Once again, thank you all. Next week, which will be over on KB's channel, we'll be having the other half of Talking Giants back on here, Justin Pennick. And then the week after that, I am trying to get my very first Giants beat reporter on here, but we'll see how that goes.
Ooh, you gotta tell me once we get off who it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm saying beat because I'm thinking he's technically is a beat, but we'll see. But that's going to be it for tonight, guys. Have a good one.